Hi, I'm Realtor Bert today. So, when buying or selling a home, you'll find there are a lot of questions that go unasked, and when doing so, there might be it might lead to some potential issues or perhaps even some missed opportunities. So, nobody likes surprises. Surprises are for anniversaries, for birthdays, holidays, things of that nature, but not when you're buying or selling a home. So I'm going to go over a couple of unasked questions which are common for home buyers in this video that might shed some light on some things that perhaps you've not thought about when purchasing a home. And the first one really is just, what is the total cost of home ownership, right? I mean, the unasked question there is, what are the ongoing costs beyond the mortgage? Well, let's talk about that for a second, right? Many buyers, they focus on the mortgage payment, but they neglect to account for property taxes, homeowners insurance, HOA fees if there is an association related to this particular where the home is located, maintenance costs, utilities, and potential repairs. Right? I think funds need to be put aside for such. Again, surprises, right? Nobody likes those kind of surprises, but however, it's good to have a fund that can help you cover those expenses just in case. So understanding these costs can certainly help buyers a lot more accurately to budget. The second point I'm going to make, or question I should say, is what's the reason the seller is leaving? So by asking that question, and why it matters is because, well, knowing the neighborhood the seller is moving from can provide a lot more insight into, who knows, potential issues with the home or the neighborhood, or might give buyers even some leverage in negotiations if the seller is in a hurry. So just on a side note, my parents were, I guess, a statistic, right? And they divorced when I was a teenager. And the buyer of our family home found out that we were selling because it was decreed by the courts. And that guy, I don't know the particulars, but I think he stole my parents' house. Hey, he had something he could leverage, right? And he made his offer commensurate with my family situation. That's business, right? So it would help. The third unasked question is, what is the neighborhood like at different times of the day? So we as real estate professionals cannot comment on crime in a neighborhood and things of this nature. But at the same time, we can, in fact, provide some nice data in terms of websites that can give you, almost up to the hour information on crime. So if that is a concern, then, certainly, at least I provide that to my clients to give them some guidance, right? Rather than doing something which is considered to be unethical as a realtor, right? So the reason why it matters is because, a neighborhood can certainly feel different at night than it does during the day, right? So it's important to know about traffic patterns and noise that results from that could possibly affect your peace and quiet. Noise levels of any kind, right? What are the neighbors like? And of course, like we talked about, safety. So these type of things could be important for buyers to know about, to ensure that the area, fits their lifestyle and their needs. So a fourth question that is often unasked, that I hear a lot, are there any planned developments nearby? Okay, well, if you study these kind of things, you will know that it is planned developments such as stores, especially box stores, grocery stores, large retailers, and so forth. Those are planned like years and years in advance. So there are certain bits of information that your realtor can provide for you. If that is important to you, we can research planned developments and things of this nature, right? Can't make any promises, but we can certainly, at least, because none of us have a crystal ball, but at the same time, we can kind of learn what tracts of land, large tracts of land, have been purchased for commercial purposes, for example. So those future construction projects could affect property values, for better or for worse. Certainly traffic patterns and your overall quality of life. So it's important to know if there's a planned shopping center, a highway, grocery store, and an apartment complex, coming soon. So I told you a little bit about my childhood just a minute ago. Now let me tell you another quick story. I went to show a home, literally where I used to live at I-10 in Wurzbach as a child in the late 70s. I showed the house next door to where we used to live, right? Our next door neighbor's house. And I got to look over the fence and kind of snoop a little bit, kind of reminisce about, what things were like back then. Now, there was nothing but a caliche pit behind us. This is the 1970s. Well, now there's an apartment complex. To each his own. Knowing my dad as much as well as I did, I can tell you right now, we never would have bought that house if we'd have known there was going to be the congestion of an apartment complex behind us. It exists now. Obviously, in the 70s, it did not. So that might also affect or influence your decision to buy or not to buy in a certain area, right? That's up to you. Now, the last one that comes up a lot are under the unasked questions are what fixtures and appliances are included. Those are typically provided to us in inclusions in our multiple listing service details. So we can usually readily provide that information to one of our prospective buyers. However, some buyers might assume that certain appliances or fixtures are included, only to find out later that they were not a part of the sale. So clarifying that prevents misunderstandings. And just on a side note, I know of situations where certain items have been put on non-realty items addenda to make sure that they're included in the sale. And you go to the final walkthrough and they're no longer there. I know of a situation where there was a seller who was an attorney, and this woman knew that if she stole those items, frankly stole them because that's what she did, then it would cost them more in attorney fees than what those items were worth. So you know what? Sue me. See where that gets you. Not all sellers are bad, and I'm not saying all attorneys are bad either. That's not a comment about that. Let me just say that these type of situations can occur, so that's why it's critical to do that final buyer walkthrough, always, right? Just to make sure those items that you negotiated for are still there. Okay. Oh, and by the way, she even had a plumber come in and disconnect and remove the water softener. So these kind of things happen in the real estate business. I could probably write a book about it after 10 years, right? 10 plus years. Anyway, so in conclusion, these are often asked questions or unasked questions even from buyers that perhaps should be asked, right? Don't overlook these, right? Because we as real estate professionals can provide a lot of answers to these questions and provide critical information. That's what we're there for, right? Is to serve our clients' best interests in all aspects of a transaction. So these type of details can certainly impact your decision and overall satisfaction with the home buying process. So ensuring that these questions that maybe you haven't thought about asking are asked and that you get the adequate answers to and that they're addressed can lead to a smoother transaction and a much better outcome. I'm Realtor Bert Tade. Hopefully this has been interesting to you. If you have any questions, or I can answer any real estate related questions, I can offer any guidance, I'm happy to do so. I'd love to be a resource to our community, so feel free to reach out to me, 210-376-TALK. I'm Realtor Bert Tade. I'm also broker owner of Santino Properties, LLC. Thank you for watching my video and hopefully you found this interesting. Go ahead and leave me a comment below.